Interestingly, um, this test deck does not have a full set of duresses. It does not even have a full set of Cabal therapies.
There's a comment on Twitch that it says the player on the left looks like he's got a strap, a holster on his leg. You know, it's like a gun holster.
Well,
we're not in Texas, so unfortunately, that would be a completely illegal firearm to have strapped to his leg.
I don't think I'd even allow open carry if it were legal at a Magic tournament as a judge. I don't think that would be a thing that I'd
capital punishment for cheating.
Yeah, a little harsh, there.
No, I mean, come on, Wizards has a zero tolerance policy. This counts.
All right. So we both players have kept their opening 7. Fred's on the play, which is very good for him. He needs to find some of these more disruptive cards like Force of Will and Thoughtseize. Hopefully he knows what he's playing against, so he knows what he's looking for.
Well, he has the Force, and he's opening with the Deathrite. Is that Deathrite foil?
I don't know. I can't tell.
I mean,
I think it is.
Fred's deck looks very pimped out.
Oh, but he does not have the other blue card to pitch to the Force. So if Steven, there is a shields down moment right here. If Steven can go off, he is free to do so.
Let's see what Steven can pull out. It looks like
he has nothing going on.
Steven has too many lands and not enough spells.
Yeah, he's got a lot of filtering right now. So it's going to be a few more turns yet.
No, actually, you know what? You might be able to pull this off.
Probe again.
Double probe.
He's going to try.
Every time you probe twice, if you ask your opponent to reveal his hand a second time...
Drew Chrome Mox, so that's not going to do too much. He needed a little bit more business off of that instead of another mana.
Steven's trying to pull off the transform the Chrome Mox into a relevant spell trick, but it didn't work.
Did not happen. I think that might be an Ad Nauseam, which he could cast next turn. Looks like a Brainstorm and an LED otherwise.
Do you agree with the statement, pimping out a deck and having white border duels is like putting rims on a beater?
Everyone has their own budget. And their own things that make them happy.
I think white rims. Like the white tire rims on on something it doesn't even belong on.
My favorite was I knew a guy who white bordered his entire vintage deck because he wanted it to match. So he had things like white bordered Jace the Mind Sculptors. He had white bordered Misty Rainforest, and Scalding Tarn.
Oh man,
Ponders.
He destroyed those Jaces.
Oh my god, he had white border Force of Wills. Oh man.
I know.
And boy howdy did his deck look ugly. But it made him happy. So, white border has its own appeal to some people.
His theme song, if it makes you happy.
Oh goodness.
It's terrible. Don't ever butcher your cards like that, please.
Yeah, please.
Not only will they
lose resale value.
Yeah, completely. They just go from like perfect to
wow. What a good brainstorm.
Jeez. Stevens.
So he went from maybe winning the game to totally winning the game, like right now.
Yep. Fred's just sitting there with his gun strap, ready to pull out the revolver and cap himself because he is not winning this round.
So putting back a Burning Wish? Yeah, that's right. So this is Storm of a Bunch. This is some real Storm nonsense right here.
Storm count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
4.
No, you just got the Ponder was last turn.
Yeah,
1,
so
2, 3,
Brainstorm.
4.
Yeah, 4.
4. Brainstorm of 4.
So he gets the Force, no blue card to pitch anyway. But he's still going to go off. Still going to try. I think he can. I think he makes it pretty well. He has 2 black and pool. Going to play a couple of Lion's Eye Diamonds and a Chrome Mox for extra
Storm
storm.
5, 6, 7. And 7, 8.
And then crack both of these, one for red, one for black. Get that Past in Flames and go crazy.
I don't think he has to go that crazy. I think he can just go Tutor and then Tendrils, right?
Oh, this is interesting though because he has no. This is the test deck, so he has no Past in Flames in the main deck, so he has to find a Burning Wish. The only main deck win conditions he has right now are Empty the Warrens and Ad Nauseam.
Well, I mean, he could have just. Oh no, he has to draw a bunch of cards right now.
Oh yeah,
he does not have enough. He does not have enough lands or enough. I mean, traditionally, like he's got a high enough storm count where he can definitely shoot off the tendrils and win.
This is a Storm 8 when he plays this Ad Nauseam. But he's going to draw so many cards that it doesn't really matter.
He's at 15
he'll have
life.
one black left in pool after casting that Ad Nauseam plus a Lotus Petal. So I think he's feeling pretty good about his chances. Leaving the red. Interesting.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
No, I don't think it does.
He needs both colors to continue to win. So,
yes.
The red is
more important for Burning Wish, though.
Right. Okay, so he's down to
1, 2. At this point, he's dead. So he wins. Game over. GG.
Good enough. Good enough.
He's like, I guess I'll stop here.
Good enough.
Yep.
Good enough. All right. So we are. I think he played a land for the turn, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the actual Lotus Petal without cheating.
A nice little turn 2 kill. Seems okay.
Those, the burning.
So this is now a storm of what, 14?
He's cracking
black.
LEDs for no particular reason.
No. Burning Wish, crack LEDs on the stack.
He's got enough black from the rituals.
Yeah, but he had to crack the LEDs if he wanted the mana at all at that point. Anyway, that was a pretty straightforward storm kill, I would say.
It was.
Just got around the 1 Force of Will, not even a blue card to pitch. So pretty easy.
That's what Storm does. It takes if you like free games, right?
Yeah.
If your opponent has stone nothing. Now we're gonna see a lot of counter spells coming in for Fred. He's gonna bring okay. Here's the way Fred is going to try to stop the Ad Nauseam combo from going off. He's got 2 Vidalian Cliques. He's got 2 Spell Pierce. 1 more Force Will out of the board. Potentially Rest in Peace?
Potentially Rest in Peace, yeah, if you want to bring him in.
He says better against him.
And actually, he really does want to bring in this Engineered Explosives so he knows what he's playing against. Because TES, we talked about before, has a bigger reliance on Empty the Warrens than Ad Nauseam Tendrils does. That Engineered Explosives actually helps a lot against the main deck Empty.
Another really good sideboard card that a lot of people end up playing if they're not playing the Stoneford package against Storm is Null Rod.
Yes.
Null Rod is a fantastic card against TES because it prevents them from popping all of their...
Yeah, any deck that runs Chrome Mox, Null Rod's going to be very good against that deck.
There is no Flusterstorm in Fred's sideboard, no, but I do think that's a great card to have at least as a one-of copy in any deck that runs blue.
Yeah, definitely. And on Steven's side, he's going to be forced to bring in these Abrupt Decays as usual, which is one of the problems with sideboarding with this deck. If you make it full 4 colors, you're kind of forced to bring in Abrupt Decay almost every game too, because you don't know what you're going to see yet. You don't know if your hate is going to hit it. The worst part being if they have Leyline of Sanctity, at least Steven has no way to deal with that. At all. So, we're not going to see that this time, but he'd have to goblins around it. But he's going to be bringing in 4 Abrupt Decays and maybe a couple of Thought Seizes. Yeah.
I mean, Storm doesn't, like, in this position, right? It's clearly the commanding deck. It's going to have a much better chance of beating Fred's
Well,
deck.
yeah. Whenever you guarantee yourself the play in game 2 or 3, when you've won game 1, you're severely advantaged with a combo deck. I mean, regardless of what they're bringing in, um, your chances on the play are probably like at least 5 to 10 percentage points higher than your chances on the draw.
That's true. Now we're going to note there's been some discussion on the chat about whether or not Grave Hate's valuable against TES, and it's definitely not one of the backbreaking cards like
No. It will not win you the game on its own, but if you put pressure and they stumble, then it can help them to stop from doing anything.
Like Thorn of Amethyst, for example, is a much better hate card against Storm. I personally think it's underplayed completely in Legacy's sideboards. I know they're $15 right now, which is absurd, but that's why because you don't want to let people run rampant with how many spells they can cast in one turn.
Besides, you play fair, you just play creatures, man.
It's true.
Only the non-creature spells get taxed. I like creatures.
I mean, Thalia sees a bunch of play for the exact same reason.
Yeah.
It's on a body and it's a 2/1 first striker, and that's why Death and Taxes plays her. But if you're not in white, do you consider throwing some thorns on the board? Are you playing spells?
I used to play Thorns in the Board of Elves, actually, because you could get it out very quickly, and it was a very good card against Storm. And then I eventually moved to things like Cabal Therapy and Thoughtseize instead.
Mm-hmm.
But it is quite an excellent card, Thorn of Amethyst.
Yep. Counter spells are definitely going to be the best way to stop a test deck from going off, as well as discard. Like I said,
I mean, the absolute best card is actually something like Aethersworn Canonist and Aethersworn Canonist Effect. Rule of Law is just insane.
Oh man, Rule of Law playing Storm in Modern. I haven't played it enough in Legacy, but playing Storm in Modern, getting shut off by Rule of Law is
it's
you're
tough.
just like, okay, that's that card just is the one card that sucker punches my deck into basically doing nothing. All right, let's see what the opening hands look like.
So on Storm's side, I see a land, a couple of cantrips, and
2 Burning Wishes.
2 mana crazy spells. It's not great. It will need some sculpting, but it is certainly keepable. Can't see the Deathblade player's hand yet.
Yeah, no idea if Fred's...
he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it pretty hard. It looks like Storm might want to throw this back.
No, he's
Although
he's doing okay.
the probe makes it a little bit more keepable than it would.
He's got 2 lands, 2 Burning Wishes, and he's 1 Infernal Tutor and 1 Ad Nauseam. He's already
the one nice thing that you can do with TES that you cannot do in Ant is Burning Wish to set up.
That's right.
And it's very hard to Infernal Tutor to set up unless you have specific cards in your hand. And it is true he does not. Like
So
that
he's looking to. I mean, if Burning Wish could have gotten a ritual, which he has none in his sideboard, right?
Yeah,
he
could have ordered one out.
He was literally low on mana. That's basically what he was. He had his draw.
Mm-hmm.
He had enough tutors to go find a degenerate piece.
Yeah, so
of
he had a
combo,
draw and 2 cantrips.
but he didn't have that third leg of Storm, which is what we were talking about.
Yep.
You need mana, you need draw, and you need a kill con, right? And he had 2 of the 3, but once you when you kick out one of the legs, Storm does not.
Yeah, and he just didn't have the necessary busted mana. He didn't have any rituals. He didn't have any LEDs. He just had lands.
Looks like he's going to be keeping.
And this hand is even kind of sketchier. It has a ritual and an infernal tutor, and a couple of preordains or ponders rather. But those ponders are going to have to be pretty good.
Fred says go.
Wow, what a great draw! Dark Ritual, always a great draw.
Well, now we get to see Tess set up a very nice turn coming up. He's basically 1 to 2 turns away, depending on how good this ponder is, from comboing off, or at least trying to.
Yeah.
Now
so
we
I
have
see
to
another Dark Ritual and a Burning Wish out of this ponder. I would actually keep the Dark Ritual, and depending on what the third card is, might keep that as well. Oh, it looks like a Rite of Flame.
choosing to keep it on top. He's got
Yeah, well, if it's Rite of Flame, you want the Rite of Flame and then the Burning Wish and then the Ritual anyway. But he actually does it.
one thing
Mana.
is
He
the
just takes all the mana.
players are doing a very good job this round of hiding their hands from us.
Yeah, quite excellent.
Brainstorm from Fred, main phase. Usually the correct time to brainstorm if you're trying to dig.
Yeah.
Learning,
It does dig 4 cards deeper instead of 3 cards deeper if you did it at the end of their turn.
yeah, learning when and how to brainstorm in Legacy is a super hard and crucial thing to master quickly if you're playing blue.
Well, the other thing is that there are so many different ways that you can use brainstorm. I mean, you can use it to dig, which is the traditional way, right? But you can also use it to hide things from Thoughtseize. You can use it to get rid of 2 cards that you don't want with a fetch land. It's just a very, very good card. I mean, it's the reason that blue is so excellent in Legacy at this point.
You could use it to lock yourself too.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get
I've
me
done that a
wrong,
few
with
times.
great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility. And Brainstorm is one of those. Are you using your brain capacity to its fullest CPU capabilities?
Mm-hmm.
If not, you're going to punt this card.
Yeah.
All right, we see an LED
man.
rip from Steven.
Steven has a great hand, but he does not. He's desperately looking for a duress. If he finds a duress, he wins this game. But right now, he has no idea what Fred has, so he just has to ship the turn.
Steven playing. He could have fired off his combo that turn. He really does have that ability. I think.
Oh yeah.
Maybe actually he could have dark gridded into. No, he was close, but not quite. Dark grid.
If the Past in Flames was in the main deck,
Right.
yeah, then he would have got there.
But then again, okay, so Past in Flames, we were just talking about it, not being the greatest against test. But it, the Graveyard Hate that we were talking about, not being the great against test, but it does answer the Past in Flames that he can tutor for if he needs to.
And occasionally, Past in Flames is the only way to win the game with Tess. There are times where Past in Flames gets you out of situations where no other card would. For instance, if you're very low life and you need to reuse a bunch of resources, Ad Nauseam is not going to do it, but Past in Flames does a great job.
Moving forward, let's see. We got a foily Stoneforge out of Fred, picking up a sort of Feast and Famine, which is probably the best equipment that he can grab against Steven.
Yeah, it's very good. You end up being able to tap out for threats on your turn and hold counterspells open, all the while ripping their hand apart with the sword discard trigger, and it's just an excellent sword against Storm.
It's not like Fred has to fear anything from Steven in order to equip that sword and attack and beat it and then untap.
Yeah,
strictly because Steven isn't interacting with him on that plane. Steven is trying to just go as
win with combo,
and that's it. I don't care what you're doing. I just want to make sure you don't have any counterspells for my combo.
So he's being very smart. He is playing the Rite of Flame before any of the petals and LEDs and stuff like that. You always want to lead with something like this.
We're going to use the Spell Pierce.
Ooh, now he could respond with a Dark Ritual. If Fred does not have any, it looks like he might. If Fred does not have any Force of Will in hand, this will play around that.
So Spell Pierce targeting Rite of Flame gets paid for by the Dark Ritual, leaving him 1 black and 2 red.
Yeah.
Storm count of 3.
So, if he doesn't have a Force of Will, this is going to turn out very well for Steven.
Dark Ritual kicks it up to Storm count 4. Black up to 4. Looks like we're going to see Burning Wish. Down to... Wait, what? Oh, right. Yeah, black mana only up to 3 instead of 4.
Yeah.
Rite of Flame, kicking red mana up to 4. 4 of each, storm count of 5.
So now the question is, does he want a Burning Wish or does he want an Infernal Tutor with his mana?
Looks like a Burning
So
Wish.
he's Burning Wishing first. I'm going to be interested to see what he gets. He might have boarded something out that he could use in this situation.
Fred doing the casual "I don't have it" kind of gesture.
So I don't know what this is getting. He will have to reveal it.
If you guys are thinking about playing any kind of like Force of Will bluff, the way Fred's playing it is actually pretty cool. His body language is suggesting that he's not going to try to counter anything. He's kind of lax. I'm not sure exactly what he could do to like pull out a counter spell that would otherwise be unpredictable to Steven, but he hasn't seen his hand. So, I mean, always play like you have it.
Yeah, definitely. So Past in Flames is the card to get.
And there's the Past in Flames. As we were discussing earlier, Past in Flames is definitely sometimes the only way you can win with Ad Nauseam. So
now he's just going to try and discard his Past in Flames and tutor for another ritual effect, probably. I mean, this, to my eyes, is just dead.
he's figuring it out. Okay, so he's casting the Past in Flames.
Okay, so that's fine.
Going down to 1 red. Or 1 black. I'm not sure this is right.
Doesn't matter. This is fine. He has enough Storm to kill him anyway. And now, so you had to think harder if you used your LED and cast the Infernal Tutor and then flash back the Past in Flames instead of casting it from your hand. But this is way easier.
Oh, okay. So he chooses not to cast Infernal Tutor?
I think he
Is he just gonna just grab from the tendrils from the sideboard?
He can't. The Burning Wish is gone.
No, there's an extra Burning Wish. Or no, there's not. Sorry. So he's just gonna Infernal Tutor from the yard. 6.
I don't know if he screwed this up or not. But if he did not cast that Infernal Tutor, that's going to be very hard.
No, he just played LED and then passed. Or
And then
just
cracked it?
Cracked it. He played LED, cracked
So we're
it.
figuring out the amount of mana that he has.
He has 6 and 6. That he should have 5 black, I think, and then 6 red. I think he's got 1 extra black. Oh no, he had one from before when he cast Past in Flames.
So he can't actually, yeah, exactly. He cannot cast this Infernal Tutor with Flashback right now.
That's true. He cannot. He has to cast Past in Flames first.
Yep. Which actually doesn't matter. He has enough mana. 5s, yeah, he has enough mana. Just passes the turn. What is going on?
I'm pretty sure Steven just screwed up.
What is going on?
Yes, he had the win. Oh no. This is okay, the correct play there for all of you guys watching is cast Infernal Tutor with
and then
with
crack
LED and crack LED
in response.
ditch the Past in Flames. Search up
his yard is not all gone. Oh no, rest in peace. There
Rest in Peace just took it out. I'm pretty okay, Fred just
I'm pretty
cinches
sure
up
he had the win anyway.
I mean, even if he doesn't tutor, like he needs to cast the tutor. He needs to cast the tutor.
Yeah.
At some
but
point.
Even if he recast the Past in Flames, if those dice were accurate and he had 12 mana, all he needs is 11 to flashback Past in Flames, cast Infernal Tutor for tendrils and tendrils him.
Well, no, that's too much, isn't it?
No, that's 11.
5 for Past in Flames, 4 for 4, and then 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would have been fine.
So I really don't know what happened there. It looked like Steven punted multiple ways, which is very unfortunate. But we'll see what happens after that.
Okay, interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting. This is. I'm sure Steven is going to get some help from his friends after watching this coverage, particularly because unless for some reason he doesn't have tendrils in the main.
If he didn't board it in, he would have to have 13 mana instead of 12.
Right.
So that
that
could have been what it was.
That might have been it.
But again, if he had just sequenced correctly and played tutor and cracked in response, he would have been fine.
True.
So I don't see any reason not to play that tutor.
Wait, no,
I
hold
don't
on.
see any reason not to play demonic tutor when you have the chance to play demonic tutor.
If he cracks tutor, and then goes finds burning wish.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then he just makes an infinite mana and burning wishes and tendrils.
oh right, he doesn't even need the passive flames.
Yeah,
He
at
didn't
that
need
point.
that. He should not have searched for passive flames at all.
Well, he had to. It was fine to do it that one time. He just screwed up. Not excellent.
What else could he have gotten for except passive flames? Is there like dark?
So he
Petition?
probably yeah. Dark Petition
Our
doesn't
Dark
really
Petition.
do anything in that spot at least.
Interesting. He had a good chunk of mana before that started. I don't know. I know there's a way he wins that game. Very
Definitely.
very
I think it's by casting Infernal Tutor.
yes. I mean, who cares if Past in Flames is in your yard? You just pay one more.
Yeah.
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 Maybe he boarded in Tendrils.
Yeah, but if you boarded it in, it was even easier.
Or maybe...
Because then
yeah.
you just do what I... If it was in the main deck, then it was 11 mana. And he had 12. But if it was in the sideboard, then it was 13 mana and he only had 12.
Well, the good news is he gets to go first now. And that's huge because he can just, come out of nowhere and kill him on turn one. Hopefully counting right this time.
Hopefully. And it does look like Fred is taking a mulligan to 6. So even better on the Storm player side. Keeping and scrying to the top.
Also, I would like to just, in Fred's position last game, he clearly made a mistake at some point. And, the most important thing about doing that kind of of making that play is forgetting about it, and that's kind of why I think he just ended turn and said, "Screw it, let's go. I'll start a fresh mindset next game." It's all about moving on in game 3.
Yeah, you definitely can't dwell on your past mistakes until after the match is over. A key thing in Magic is being able to keep a clean, clear head throughout the match, because you have to be able to make the optimal decision every time. This is a great hand from Fred. To see off the Ataxian Probe. Would get ripped apart by Cabal Therapy, though.
Yeah, if Steven has a Cabal Therapy, it's going to be very, very, very good. It's going to eat at least a Force of Will, or a Spell Pierce. Either or would be great. I don't think he has either.
No, he's got a bunch of really cool cards in hand, but none that win the game.
I don't think he's going to be able to
Force of Will.
Right, he's got Force of Will and Spell Pierce. The playing through Spell Pierce was actually Spell Pierce definitely made it difficult for him to. If he had extra mana from the Spell Pierce,
Oh, that's true.
He would have won that.
Spellpierce turn. I think he should have won anyway. But what's interesting here is that there's no pressure coming from the player with counterspells. So Steven has a lot of time to sculpt right now. Top represents a little bit of pressure just because it can find something, but Steven should be feeling fine on his ability to just sit and dig. So there's going to be a Fred topping at the end of this turn, seeing what he finds. Now he's looking for pressure in a creature. He has all of the shields are up. He should not be concentrating any more on trying to get more counterspells. I mean, if that's all there is, then great. But really, what he's looking for is a creature here.
yeah, Fred just wants to close out the game, not as fast as possible, but with as much tenacity as possible.
Yeah,
Deathblade
so Deathblade's
Shaman,
a good start.
excellent start for this sort of idea.
Yeah.
Him having the Academy Ruins in play, what does that actually do for him in this matchup? Not a whole lot,
in
right?
this matchup, not a whole lot, but it could help at some point if if Steven is forced to abrupt decay an artifact. So that could matter if he wants to kill the top while it's tapped, or to perchance hit either the GT, or if he dresses the Batterskull or something like that, then Academy Ruins becomes a very real card. This Ponder not finding much. I mean, I guess you take the Brainstorm there after the land, but it's true. He's not putting a whole lot of pressure on Steven.
No,
so there's not a whole lot of reason to go for it.
no, there's not, and also like Steven is basically trying to dig for his hand disruption.
Yeah, but he does have this this Abrupt Decay right now, so it will straight up kill the Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
I don't think he cares either, but he has it for possibly the next piece of pressure.
Right. I think he's looking... Okay, here's another Brainstorm. That's great when he has a fetch in play. He's got a lot of LEDs. I don't know if he need... And petals. He's looking at his hand going, man, I could just kill you right now if you didn't have so many damn forces.
Yeah.
All right, 2 damage.
So now we're starting the slow chog of Deathrite Shaman versus life totals.
Dude, it's not that slow.
It's pretty slow.
It's slow, but at a certain point, there's it gets degenerate pretty quick.
Yeah, that it does.
Deathrite Shaman's one of my favorite cards in Legacy.
Yeah, it's quite good. It does,
Especially if you know how to use your shamans better than your opponent.
yeah. Well, Warring Shamans is also a very big part of Legacy right now, and basically you just want to use it second. Don't want to use it first.
Yeah, unless if you're proactively trying, then no.
Yeah. Or if you want to force something in, you use it on their turn, and then you untap and use it on your turn.
Yep.
A few tricks here and there, but
Well, okay, as far as Abrupt Decay goes, is Steven concerned about what he needs to Abrupt Decay?
yeah.
Because
So-
what is it that he needs to really get?
Something like, I would say something like Stoneforge Mystic with Batterskull in hand is a big threat, or GT plus Dudes is a big threat. The thing is that this Deathblade deck doesn't have any like one card bombs. It doesn't have any Rule of Laws. It doesn't have any meddling mages. It doesn't have anything like that in this matchup. So there's nothing that you are saying, well, I'm going to hold this Abrupt Decay for that meddling mage because there's no other way that I can deal with it. It's just kind of a way to get ahead. A way to deal with annoying little permanents.
Yep, I agree. That's why him holding it is probably correct. Also, he can brainstorm it away and just draw more of the cards that he needs.
Yeah.
While like every card in his hand is applicable, there are definitely more that get some more value in the long run. And the Burning Wish is technically on the stack, not in the yard yet. This is Fred deciding whether or not he's... Yep, there's the Force pitching. I didn't see, but probably a Brainstorm.
Snare.
No, I think
Or
really?
Spell Pierce, yeah.
Do you think Pierce did it?
Yeah.
No.
Or no.
Strix.
Baleful Strix, okay.
Baleful
so
Strix.
There's still a Force and a Spell Pierce in Fred's hand, definitely. Get rid of that.
Spell
Burning
Pierce
Wish.
being the only... Baleful Strix being so good in Legacy because of its blue.
Yes, because it's blue and because it has Death Touch. Death Touch is just a huge ability on that card for its ability to get rid of Goyfs and just block and trade for value.
The card has so many stats for 2 mana.
Yeah, seriously.
Artifact, creature, blue, flyer, 1/1, Death
Yeah,
Touch, 6.
extremely good with Tarmogoyf. Extremely good.
That's why people play it in that deck. Shardless Tarmogoyf. There's a Brainstorm.
So Steven is one duress away from winning this game right now. He continues to whiff, so that makes more magic for us.
Lots and
Just
lots.
infinite mana.
He's got 2 Burning Wishes, though, so maybe he fires
No,
off...
that's 2 Ray of Flames.
Oh, sorry. So what does he do? He kind of needs to start burying
He's kind
some
of
of this.
screwed.
He needs
He
to
needs to get rid of a bunch of this mana, decide what's superfluous, and then fetch away.
doesn't like the land. Is that right? Put the land
I
back?
think I would keep
At least one land, right?
It's fine. Keeping land here is kind of mediocre. I mean, you're not going to need it when you combo. He might actually keep that land on top anyway, because and he has 8 cards. But because he might just want the shuffle effect twice.
He may, yeah. But then why don't you just put back one of the other cards in your hand that's not that great? I mean,
It is pretty great.
all of his cards make infinite amounts of mana. He doesn't need that much mana, even if he's playing around Spell Pierce.
That's true.
Abrupt Decay taking out the Deathrite Shaman because
He had 8 cards. Was going to discard it.
He needed to get rid of a card. He didn't play land for the turn though, so
yeah, which he could have kept.
I guess he was just sick of looking at Deathrite's ugly mug. Pass
That
back
guy
from
is
Fred.
ugly.
Nope, he's shuffling the land away. He does not want to draw another shuffle effect. Steven's in business mode.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to draw a Duress, a Cabal Therapy, even another Burning Wish would be great right here. He just needs to draw a way to safely remove the Force of Will from Fred's hand. And Fred's been sculpting for a while, so he might have a lot of just stuff going on.
Here comes
LED
LED from
go.
Steven and pass again. Just, I don't understand why he doesn't try to fire off a Burning Wish or something like that.
He doesn't have a Burning Wish to fire off. He only
Oh,
has
right,
one
the
piece
Rite
of
of Flames.
business. So he only has the Infernal Tutor as his only piece of business, which he knows is going to get Force of Willed. Because you assume that Fred's not an absolute fish.
Sure. Ambush Viper coming out of the...
Yeah, I need to put some pressure on his life total, and any way will do at this point for Fred. So Snapcaster with nothing in yard to target this Force of Will, never going to cast it. But hey, man, Tiago Chan beats for 2.
And the clock only increases. Steven looking at his top deck. It's a Lotus Petal, another mana source, no business. Again, once you have mana, and you've drawn enough cards, you need to hit that third leg of Storm or you're not going to win, sadly.
And he just has all 3 legs, but no disruption for the Force of Will. He can go off whenever he wants, but he knows that he'd just get stopped in his tracks, and all of his storming would come to nothing. And we don't know how many more counterspells Fred has. He might have drawn something more than just the 1 Force and the 1 Spell Pierce.
Steven's
on a 2-turn clock here. Or no, a 1-turn clock.
1-turn
excuse
clock.
me.
He's dead after this.
This is the turn.
Did he?
So if he doesn't have, he's just dead.
Okay, so that's...
So he has to play around Fred Force of Willing the wrong thing. So he has to play very smart here to be able to bait out a counterspell.
That wasn't as carefully as I would have tried to bluff it, but, there's a second Force of Will in his hand too, right, or no?
No, I think that was his only hard counterspell.
Well,
but that was it.
TES unfortunately getting really unlucky in Game 3, having no ability to find any kind of business any other place except for
Yeah.